Hi, I'm Taylor and welcome back to Roam Away From Home. Today is all about Taylor Swift, I mean. For a little background, my husband and I have been to over 1,000 concerts. We are heavily ingrained in the music tourism industry. We have attended high-demand music events around the world, including the Eras Tour, Coachella, Desert Trip, Dead & Company's final tour, countless Fish shows, and more. So these tips are from our experience at the Eras Tour, as well as other stadium shows like Garth Brooks, Rolling Stones, and huge events. And we want to just make sure that all of you Swifties traveling to Portugal or wherever you want to travel to for the Eras Tour have the best time. So let's get into it. We're gonna start with the first thing, which is getting to the stadium. We have a full-length YouTube already touring Benfica Stadium or Estadio da Luz, and you can check that out on our YouTube already. It gives you an idea of how to get there from the metro stops. And if you have a ticket, I do recommend going early. It's really fun to hang out with other Swifties. You can exchange friendship bracelets, get to know other people, and overall just get pumped for the event. We have VIP tickets, and if you haven't received an email yet for your VIP entry gate and time, you will soon. As of today, May 19th, people who have non-Portuguese residents, they have received their VIP entry information and pickup location. The pickup location for your VIP merch box, if you are not from Portugal and you don't get it mailed to you, is right next to the Benfica Stadium. It's in the commercial center. So you would take the metro stop to Luz to get off. You'll get the address and everything. We have other short form videos with this information where you can access this. The best way to get to the stadium is by taking the blue line of the metro, or Azul. It will take you right to the stadium. It's going to be the best way to get to the stadium to avoid traffic and also make it really easy on yourself and affordable as well. Although Uber and Bolt do work, it's going to be chaos. The stadium has a capacity of about 65,000 and many people are going just to hang out around outside. So you can expect, close to 100,000 people there the day of each concert. The time that you want to arrive at the stadium is completely dictated by your group, your ticket type, and what you are most comfortable with. So if you have any floor ticket, like any ticket on the floor, it's GA. Whether you have VIP or regular, it's all GA, no assigned seatings. What that means is that if you want a close spot to Taylor Swift, then you're gonna wanna arrive early and line up ahead of time. In other countries like France and Sweden, people have lined up as early as 5 a.m. Some people considered camping, although I think that that is not necessary to have a good view. It is completely up to you. If you have limited mobility or kids, there is no reason that you should line up that early. You are only going to tire yourself out for the rest of the show. If you have VIP tickets, the VIP check-in is from 3 p.m. to 3:45 p.m. If you arrive at the VIP queue after 3:45 p.m., you forfeit your VIP rights. So if you're going VIP, then you're going to want to make sure to arrive before 3 p.m. so that you are in the queue by 3 p.m. at the latest. If you are a regular ticket holder, on the floor, I still recommend showing up at least by that time because doors open at 4 p.m. People are going to be lining up really early in the morning, 9 a.m. and everything. So if you arrive after the doors open, you can guarantee that you're going to be towards the back of the floor area. If you have kids or limited mobility again, I actually recommend hanging towards the back of the floor. It's going to be a more comfortable experience for you and you have more opportunities to sit down on the barriers at the back of the area of the floor. If you have assigned seats, there is really no reason to show up that early. Your seat will be your seat for the entire show. So you can just show up when doors open if you want to be in the stadium earlier. When I went to Eras Tour in Arizona, every seat was assigned, including the floor, and that meant that people did not line up like crazy just to go in early. They actually just went in whenever they felt like they were ready for the show and in time for Paramore, who is amazing, by the way. And if you're debating skipping Paramore, I would advise against that. They are really great, high energy band and perfect opener for Taylor Swift. As of now, the set times can change, plus or minus 30 minutes. That's very typical for a stadium of this size. Everything has to be ready at the right time. Paramore typically starts around 6:30 p.m. I'd make sure to be in your seat seat by 6 p.m. So that means entering the venue between 5 and 5:30 p.m. so that you can have time to navigate through the stadium. It will be extremely crowded, so going around, just walking to your seat, it does take a while because it's like shoulder to shoulder in the stadium until everyone settles down into their seats. Taylor typically starts between 7:45 and 8:15 p.m. She tends to lean on the earlier side because, again, her whole set is very scheduled and she plays the entire time with no breaks. If you are someone who really wants Eras Tour merch, which has recently been updated to include the Tortured Poets department, then that also dictates when you would arrive to the stadium. If you want to get some of those coveted rare merch items, then yeah, you're going to want to go maybe even the day before your show. So if you have tickets to Saturday's show, show up on Friday and line up with the merch line, get those special items that you want, and that way you have those guaranteed for you. A lot of times, in every other show, they have also opened the outside merch truck, so it's not inside the stadium but outside of the stadium. They have started that the day before, which would be Thursday for the Portugal shows. We personally don't invest our time into doing merch, so this is one of those things where it's completely up to you. There are certain items like the blue crew neck and all of these things that sell out in certain sizes. They do reserve enough for selling that specific merch each day. So if it sells out on Friday, they probably will have it on Saturday. But again, that is up to you. If you want those really rare merch items or those ones that sell out quickly, then I recommend going the day before your shows if possible. Now, the good news is there is merch for sale inside. So if you want to go to the stadium early when doors open around 4, then you are more likely to get those special items inside. If you are VIP for nearly every show so far, I can't say for certain until the day of the Eras Tour, but they usually have merch open for VIP as well. So you can get early entry into the stadium, no lines for merch, and it's a great way to kind of save time on your end because those merch lines can be hours long when they're outside the stadium. When we went to the Eras Tour in Denver, the line for merch wrapped completely like around the stadium. It doubled back, and I'm pretty sure people were waiting there for 2+ hours just to get to the front and find out that whatever item they really wanted was sold out. So in our experience, it is a dedication of time for you, and consider the fact that you're going to be standing all throughout the show, and that might not be worth your time and energy, but if it is, plan accordingly. All right, so that's all just getting to the stadium. Once you're there, there are some tips for having a more comfortable concert experience. Again, this is like over 60,000 Swifties. Everyone is super loud and excited there. The crowd noise alone, without anyone playing, at Arizona, my sister had an Apple Watch and she measured the crowd noise level was 92 decibels before Paramore even started, just from people talking. I highly, highly, highly recommend ear protection. Ear protection for everyone, but if you are bringing a kid, 100% you should have ear protection. They will likely sustain permanent hearing loss if you do not have ear protection. My number one recommended brand for ear protection is Eargasms. I'll put a link to the Amazon. They are not on Amazon in the EU, or at least on the Spanish Amazon or UK Amazon. So the second best option for ear protection that I recommend is the Loop Experience. Eargasms has more protection, more decibel protection, and it's more filtered specifically for music. So if you're in the US and you can still get Eargasms super fast shipping, I highly recommend that. If you're already in Portugal or in Europe, then Loop Experience are going to be more accessible. Regardless of what brand you get something. Again, especially if you have kids, because it really is so loud that you will have hearing loss, and it's just not worth it. Besides, what's really, really nice about having the ear protection is it also drowns out the crowd noise, so you can actually hear Taylor better. And I think it's nice if you get overstimulated by sound, then it is a great way to kind of dampen the experience so that you have a more comfortable time at the concert and you can hear the music better. So win, 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 win all around for ear protection. Another thing that helps with in terms of like overstimulation at the concert is wearing those really cute heart glasses, or making sure you bring a pair of sunglasses. The lights can be really bright, which is super fun, but if you're down close to the stage, they can be really light, and like the fire is super bright. So if you want to kind of, again, like dampen the experience a little bit and prevent yourself from being overstimulated, having those heart glasses with a little bit of a color tint is a fun and cute way to help you have a more comfortable experience. When it comes to planning your outfit, Portugal is a place where you need to dress in layers. If you're coming from the US, the best climate type that I can kind of compare it to is Southern California coastal climate. So it can be hot and cold all in the same day, slightly humid. So just today I've been wearing this jacket, taking it off, on, off, literally all day. So you're going to want to dress in layers. That being said, because you'll be at the show for most of the time and there's lots of warm bodies there, then you're going to be leaning on like it's a little bit warmer in the show. So you might want a light jacket, windbreaker, and for the way home because it will be chilly at night, but during the day it's going to be hot and likely sunny, so you have to balance both things when you're planning your outfit. I find that it's really easy to incorporate a cute jacket into your outfit, take it off during the day, put it on your way home. One more tip, and this is why I keep talking about if you get overstimulated or have anxiety or anything like that, is when I was in Arizona, I saw multiple people have panic attacks, mostly because they didn't know what to expect, like how big the crowd would be, and it's so tight. So prepare yourself mentally before you go in. Know that there's a lot of people. In Portugal, we have found the crowds are super nice overall. Swifties are really nice and respectful overall, and it's a very safe environment. You don't feel overwhelmed by like the crowds. There's no mosh pitting. There's none of that. So it's just preparing yourself mentally to know that there's going to be a lot of people, and then you'll be fine. People really aren't out to get you at a Taylor Swift concert, and it is part of the reason why I'm a huge Swiftie. One of the number one questions that we've gotten across all our socials, all our messages we've gotten from you all, is how to prepare for the floor experience. So this section is all about the floor experience because it is GA floor. We have attended, I kid you not, so many floor concerts that I would say we are the experts at this. From every type of genre of show, every type of size, every kind of crowd. Truly, like, we have attended the most, and we almost always opt for GA floor pit experiences. So here are some of our tips. The first is get as close as you're comfortable with. Normally with these shows, Taylor has a huge screen. There's a screen above, like the Benfica Stadium has screens up above, so you will, no matter where you go, you will be able to see a screen. If you're short, it's very likely that you actually don't have a perfect view of her the entire time, and that's okay. Most people don't have a perfect view of her the entire time because she's moving around the stage and it's a crowded stadium. So if you want to get really close, the best chances you're going to have are with VIP. If you're not VIP, you're not going to be right on the barricades, which we call rail riders. You're not going to be right on those barricades, so that's okay too. The best thing you can do is once you get to floor, you find your little area that you want to be in. Make friends with your neighbors, exchange friendship bracelets, give them away if your neighbors don't have them. Get to know them. I mean, everyone is so nice at Taylor Swift shows, and you can talk about your favorite era, your favorite songs. You know, everyone's dressed super cute. So basically, like, make friends with your neighbors, and then you'll have a little protected crew with you. Because if you're just kind of alone or just two of you and nobody else around you even knows you, sometimes it can feel more daunting than it actually is. If you're kind to people around you and you just say like, oh, are you so excited, or something like that, like, you'll make friends, and then immediately you'll kind of have this little bubble of good vibes, good energy, right? The other question is people are very concerned about going to the bathroom while they're on floor. Now, there's all these discussion about avoiding drinking water all day so that you don't have to go to the bathroom, and that is something I cannot advise against more, because people in Brazil were fainting due to dehydration. Like, people in Paris were fainting due to dehydration. It is not worth your health and your life to avoid drinking water to potentially have a closer spot to Taylor Swift. So continue hydrating. If you really want to cut something out that makes you pee a lot, take out alcohol, but continue drinking water. And if you have to go to the bathroom, yeah, the chances are you might lose your spot, but stay there as long as you can and then leave to go to the bathroom. If you're going with a bigger crew, you can often like kind of weasel your way back to your crew. Look for landmarks around you. So okay, I'm next to this sign or this symbol. I'm on this part. I'm right here next to the speaker system. Like, get back to this area so you can find your crew again. If you're maybe alone or just two of you, the chances are then, yeah, you'll have to move back at some point, which is totally okay. You'll still have a great time. One of the benefits of being on the floor is that if you don't like your neighbors, you can move. It's one of my favorite things. So if there's a huge wall of tall people in front of you, you can actually move to a different section just fine, get a better view. If there are people talking and not enjoying the concert next to you, you can also move for that. So there are lots of benefits for floor. You're closer to Taylor Swift. You have a better chance of actually being like right there and seeing her very clearly instead of her on the screens. You can meet lots of new friends and you can choose your spot. So it's lots and lots of benefits. The con is that your spot might shift throughout the night. Again, totally fine, and you're going to have a great time regardless. If you have small kids or anything like that, you might want to hang out more towards the back. The chances of them having a view are actually better further back because of your perception. So if you're right in the front and you have a little one and they're looking up, more likely that humans will block them, or even the stage barricades will block their view. So further back with kids, you will be safe, you will have fun, everyone will enjoy it. What really matters is you are in the same room as Taylor Swift. Like, that is rare in itself, and you get to see her perform, you get to hear her sing. You are going to be able to see her from some vantage point. Keep moving around if you don't like your spot, and that's the best advice I can give for floor. For GA floor experiences, one of the best things you can do is rest your feet right before the shows start. So all the way leading up to Paramore, if you enter the stadium early, find your little spot, sit down. If you do it, other people will do it too. And this has been the common experience for the France and Swedish shows. I expect it to be the same for the Portugal shows as well. The history has been that once Paramore starts, everyone stands and they stay standing throughout all of Paramore. I also recommend sitting down in between Paramore and Taylor Swift if you can. When you're planning your bathroom breaks, if again, you're hydrated, you're feeling good because you're not avoiding water, if you need to plan your bathroom breaks, the best timing is right before the show starts, especially if you have a crew of people. One of you can go to the bathroom, come back, and the other one can go. So you can trade off and then keep your spot. Once Paramore starts, it's going to be a lot more difficult to do that little exchange, but before the show starts, people are usually more chill and relaxed with you returning to your spot. The biggest tip is no matter where your seats are, where you're standing, just be kind, be polite, and everyone else around you will be too. I have never once felt unsafe at a Taylor Swift concert, and outside the stadium, inside the stadium. Everyone is just so nice and ready to have a good time, and so that's what you should be prepared for, is being around the happiest people all at once. When it comes to eating, I do recommend eating before the show. However, if you run out of time or it's just not in the cards for you to eat before you enter the stadium, there are plenty of concession options within the stadium. There are even full restaurants, there are food trucks, like there are so many food options right near the Benfica Stadium and inside that you do not have to worry about being fed. One of the most fun parts about Taylor Swift is trading friendship bracelets. So if you have had the time to make friendship bracelets, I want to go into how that exchange works. Basically, you walk around with all your friendship bracelets on your arm, or a lot of people put them on a carabiner, so you can organize that by era and just hook them to your outfit, your pants, your purse, whatever. And then all you do is you go up to random Swifties that have good vibes, which is like everyone, and say, hey, do you want a friendship bracelet? I always say, do you want a friendship bracelet? Because sometimes people don't have the time to make them, and sometimes materials are hard to find in other countries. So if you just give them away and plan on giving them away versus being like, I must have one in exchange, it's going to be more fun for everyone. Typically someone will say, oh my gosh, thank you. And they'll say, oh, do you want one too? Or they'll say, oh, I don't have any, I'm so sorry. And they're like, that's okay, here's one for you. In Arizona, the friendship bracelet making thing had still not quite caught on because it was the opening weekend. And I would just give them out to people. I gave them out to my neighbors at the show she was dressed full Fearless, and she was young, teen, dressed full Fearless. And I gave her out a Fearless friendship bracelet when Taylor started playing that set, and she was so happy. Like, it was just so cute to see the joy in her face. So expect more to give them away, and then it'd be great if you got them in exchange. But just sharing that joy, spreading that fun. And I usually try and give out friendship bracelets according to kind of their era of outfit, or I ask someone, what's your favorite era? And then I'll give them that, or whatever I have available. I usually do the ones that I receive from other people, I'll put on my left arm, and the ones that I'm giving out, I'll put on my right arm so I can do it quickly. Exchange and receive very quickly, and it's fun. We actually have stickers that we will be giving away in addition to bracelets, and people have all these different little trinkets that they bring, and it's just fun to remember the show, and it's a great way to connect with fellow Swifties. Speaking of eras and dressing for the outfits and all of that, we have heard some anxieties about Swift Swifties putting their outfits together. And I want to make it very clear right now, you dress up as much or as little as you want. It's not uncommon to see someone just wearing regular shorts and a t-shirt and comfortable shoes because they're planning for comfort and functionality. And it's also not uncommon to see someone in a full ball gown with the most beautiful makeup and hair. However you are most comfortable and whatever your level of dressing up is what you should go with. Do not feel stressed because your outfit isn't coming together perfectly. A lot of us are making our own outfits and acquiring different pieces from different places, so it's kind of like a piecemeal of what we have in our vision and how we want to express ourselves for the Eras Tour. You should not feel pressure to dress a certain way, to dress up more than you want to, or to dress down more than you want to. Literally go all out as much as you want. The only restriction is most stadiums do not allow battery operated components in your outfit. So if your outfit has lights built into it with a battery pack, that often is not allowed. And that is because you get the light up bracelet that syncs to Taylor's music, and they just don't want other light up components on the stadium that could throw off that kind of overall aesthetic of the light up bracelets that Taylor gives out. Speaking of the light up bracelets, you get one when you enter the stadium, so you do not have to buy them. They are free. They are synced to the show. Once you pull that little tab out, then it's activated. That's the battery tab. As of now, again, May 19th, the only stadium policies that we know for bags, what you're allowed to bring in, are the general Benfica stadium policies. If you have already received your VIP emails or any email communication from C-Tickets, then they have a link to those policies. What we don't know is whether or not those will change. Things like the bag policy and what you can bring into the stadium are determined by both Taylor's team and the stadium. So every single show is different. In France, they did not have very strict policies when it comes to bags, battery packs for your phone, stuff like that. Sweden had a no bag policy. That means you are not allowed to bring in any bag. We have heard from the C-Tickets team that you can bring in bags to the Portugal shows, but they do not have to be clear. You can bring in a opaque bag to the Eras Tour, but we don't have any further guidelines as of now that's specific for the Eras Tour. So that could change in the future. You're gonna have to keep an eye out. I recommend joining our Facebook group where we share very in the moment details and keep you up to date as possible. Because the Eras Tour is a lot of standing and walking, I don't recommend doing a lot of tourist activities right before the show. It depends on what your reason for going to see Taylor Swift is. If you're going because you are a diehard Swiftie and you have been wanting to see her forever and you are committed to the Eras Tour, try and reduce your tourist activities the days of the shows. Your feet will thank you, your body will thank you, you will thank yourself. That being said, we often give this tip for big concert events, especially, traveling concert events that we go to across the world. And oftentimes concert goers and fans decide that they still want to do the tourist activities. At the end of the day, they're glad they did. However, they are exhausted and in pain. So if you are going for 2 nights in a row, really be easy on yourself. The best part about this show is that it is in a beautiful city of Lisboa, Lisbon, Portugal, and you will have so much fun. The food here is great. The people are great. It's easy to get around and navigate the city. We have more tips on apps you should download to help you navigate the city, make restaurant reservations, all of that on our blog. I'll link to it in the description. We also have more resources on our Facebook page. You will need the C-Tickets wallet app to show your QR code at the entrance of the stadium. If you do not have the C-Tickets wallet app, then there is a chance you could be declined. They are saying that they do not accept printed versions of the QR codes. Who knows what it'll be like the day of? Maybe they'll make exceptions because of cell phone service or anything like that. Typically, those C-Ticket wallet QR codes will be downloaded to your phone, so you won't need service. But absolutely download the app. Make sure you have access to your tickets. If you're going in a large group and you're all traveling differently together, make sure your friend transfers your tickets directly to your C-Tickets wallet account. You will need a C-Tickets Portugal account. You will need your friend to transfer to the email associated with your C-Tickets Portugal account, and then it will show up on your C-Tickets wallet. This is so important to do ahead of the show, a full day ahead of the show, so you can work out any kinks and issues that you have, but make sure you do this. If someone is offering you a paper ticket for the show, that is a scam. That is not how the ticket system works in Portugal. We hope that you enjoy Portugal. My husband and I live in Lagos, Portugal, which is in the Algarve region, but we spend a lot of time in the city for concerts and shows. And so I can tell you, like, it is worth exploring different areas of Portugal while you're here. It's worth going out, trying new foods, trying the local cuisine, trying other international foods, because Lisboa has amazing international foods, great Italian foods, like seriously so many good foods, and almost everywhere you eat here is delicious. So I really recommend going out of your comfort zone, trying new stuff, walking around and exploring the city. Sometimes it's really nice just to get lost in the city. You don't even have a plan. Not scheduling every single moment of your day actually has some benefits. We are currently in Sintra, which is one of our top recommendations for exploring the city based on your Fearless era. If you want more tips on exploring Lisboa and the surrounding area according to every era of Taylor Swift, head to our blog. Forgot to say it when we were recording in the other way, but I wanted to add it in just in case you need some fun things to do. We will be giving also more tips on the Algarve region, which is where we live. So if you're headed there after the Eras tour, stay tuned. We are so excited to see all of you. I'm going to be dressed in full Lover era for night 1 and Rep era for night 2. If you see me, come say hi. I usually stand out a little bit because of my hair. We'll have friendship bracelets and stickers. We're super, super excited. My husband will be wearing one of our Swiftie tees, which is Taylor Swift fish. So if you see him, he's gonna be dazzling. It's gonna be really fun and really cool. So keep an eye out for us. And we will be on the floor for both nights. So if you see us, come say hi. We have so many more resources that are super detailed on our blog, on our Facebook group. I'm linking to both below. So if you have any outstanding questions, drop them in the comments and head to our blog for more information. We just want to make sure you have the best time. We're so excited. Like, it will be the best day. Subscribe for more Taylor Swift tips, live music tips, and adventures in Portugal.